Meow time!
What's going on, guys? iMeow. Welcome back to a brand new video 100 and welcome back to a brand new Mario Kart Wii texture release video today. And as you can see already, it's completely different here. I've actually decided to record the whole process of me creating a texture and then to kind of make a video like this after the fact and attempt to do a live cover voice over it to kind of give some explanation as to what I'm doing. I've no script here either, so you could probably tell as well. I usually don't have scripts, but when it comes to this, doing it one take is actually crazy, and I need to stop talking myself in corners. But the whole goal of this texture, it wasn't to make something like insanely big or out of my comfort zone. I just wanted to make a Mario texture, right? Just something simplistic. So here we go. I search hard. What I'm doing here, I would actually argue it's the most important asset when it comes to creating the textures, for me at least, as I'm just trying to create some concept art. I have to really visualize how it's gonna look in order to make sure I'm not wasting time on something that's not gonna work out. So it's not only to see if the color schemes are right, but it's also to just, yeah, get a good concept as to what I want to make. And I can put this next to the actual texture itself to hopefully kind of identify which spots on the texture are which place on the body. But I'll get to this once we get to that part. So everything you see here, it's not for the game itself, it's just for me to kind of see. And I do use this as well for like promotional art, so to say. I use it in thumbnails or on the Game Banana website, right, where I publish my textures. I can put it there as well. I do want to say as well though, before I can actually start making the concept, I of course have to get an idea out there, so I can actually put that to a concept in the first place, if that makes sense. I have no idea, but yeah, the whole goal, the whole original idea was to make some kind of love Mario, right? Some kind of heart-shaped Mario. I'm not sure how to best explain this. You'll see it in a second here as well. Now, when people think of love and actually talk about love, the color that always comes up, and you saw it as well, me actually trying to search the heart on Google as well, all of them were red colored, which it makes sense, but as you can obviously see right there too, Mario itself already has a red color scheme. So even though this right there, right, I put the whole heart on his head, it doesn't look that bad, honestly. You don't really see that there's too much different, as you're already used to seeing Mario in this color scheme. So to kind of make the texture stand out more and to also emphasize the fact that there's something different as well, I decided to actually go with a bit of a pinkish gradient here. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm selecting all of the red spaces, the red elements on Mario's overall, and in turn just making them pink to see which, or just to see how it looks, kind of, right? To see how it looks on Mario itself. And again, the dope thing is, after I finish the whole concept, I can just save it and open it next to the actual textures from Mario Kart Wii. So if I need the exact same pink color, I can actually just copy and paste it, obviously. I will actually say as well, from here on out, I think it's gonna speed up just a little bit when it comes to the texture creation, right? I've spent 30 minutes now on the video here, just showing the concept art, so obviously you wanna see me actually creating the texture itself. So I'm doing here, I think I'm adjusting the pants, making them white to kind of, I wanted to actually make them blue at first, right, light blue, but then I just felt like it was too similar to the Smash Ultimate and Smash 4 Mario alternate color with the blue and pink right there, right? The whole goal is not to make something that already exists, I want to make something new, so it has to look unique, and I think I got that down quite well on this whole concept art, right? So let's just move on to the actual texture now. So first things first, of course, is all about just opening up all of the files and putting them into the editing software that I use, right? Pixlr.com, the free online based. Not quite sure if they've got any downloads, but it's not bad. I mean, it works fine for what I'm trying to do myself, right? Just making simplistic 2D textures right there. It works perfectly fine, but if you're going into more detailed textures or anything like that, you will definitely run into some troubles if you're trying to do that, right? There's not enough tools, it's very simplistic, the whole editing software. If you're trying to get into editing yourself, just basic stuff like this editing is just, the software is perfect pretty much for that. Obviously this video here is not really a tutorial by any means, right? Not for Pixlr or for creating textures, it's just about me actually showing how I make my textures, just a little bit of like, I don't know, just a little sample of how I make these. Okay. At this point I'm actually adding the heart to the texture itself. I think it kind of speaks for itself as well. I did have to make sure it was a symmetrical shape, so I can actually put it on the M as they cut off half the piece, half the head piece. Then they can just mirror it on the game itself to just save space in the storage of the game files or whatever. So here we go. You can see as well, I will say this, and this I guess the biggest flaw when it comes to my texture creation. I do spend quite a bit actually working on these, but around the edges of the just all of the recoloring pieces, there's always some excess color from the original texture, so it doesn't look that bad in the game. It's very small, right? You have to realize that too. So all of the textures here are gonna get stretched out over the character in the game files. Ideally you want to make sure that doesn't happen, but here we go. This is the whole texture finish right there. I just rambled on, saving it now. And then it's of course time for the first play testing right there to see how it actually turned out in the game itself. As I said, it's more important to me how it looks in game than how I actually made it. So here you go. I think it looks quite fine, right? I think the heart definitely stood out as the Mario was pink. The pink color is could have been a bit more white maybe, but especially since the overalls are white as well, I didn't want them to mix or to blend too much as well. So here we go, moving on to the bike now, just export the file. There's so much information here. If you're not sure what's going on, then I'm sorry. Okay, the only real difference when it comes to the bike is that some of the parts are actually not necessarily fully black, but they don't have any colors. So what I've been doing until now is just selecting all of the elements I want to recolor and then just, you know, changing the gradient. But here I couldn't do that, so I had to select everything and then use a little bit of an element slider. I'm not sure how that's exactly called, but that's what I did here. So yeah, just select all of the black stuff and then recolor it that way. I can't explain it, it's just too much. I don't want to make this video too long, but here we go. Add the heart icons, change the little speedometer thing as well on the bike. You don't even see that, but that's something I always do, make this white, and that's it for the biker actually. This is so fast, I can't even keep up with the voiceover at this point, but okay, there you go. And finally, the last element here that I had to work on was of course the wheel, and I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do with this while I was making the texture, but I decided to just go with a classic white wheel, right? That's what I usually do if I've got no idea. Just make it white, it looks fine, it looks classy, of course. So here we go. I actually decided to make the framework pink, which is something I like to do as well with different textures too. Just get some nice colors for that. So just open a black image, put it over the framework itself, and then again using that gradient slider thing, make it pink. And I made sure I actually went from top right to bottom left, as you can see on the texture itself. It is a wheel, it's a circle, so it's gonna look very nice, very well polished on the texture itself. So all I have to do now is save this, put them all into the texture files, and here's the result, man. I think it actually turned out quite well, if I may say so myself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video too. Again, it's not going into too much of the technical stuff when it comes to creating textures, but more so the visual, actually making them, right? If you need any tutorials on this, by all means search them up. That's where I got all of my information from as well. There's definitely some very good, very useful, a bit outdated too. The way I do this, it's not good if you want to get like actual professional looking textures. I mean, it works, yes, but you know what I mean, right? There's definitely way better ways to do them. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to download this, that's the whole goal of this video as well, of course, to promote the texture. It's on my Game Banana, so by all means check that out right there. I'll make sure I put all of the sources down below though. So thank you guys so much for watching again. If you enjoyed this, by all means, please be sure to give me some feedback down in the comments. And again, down the texture, it helps me out, helps my Game Banana out, and it helps the channel grow. So thank you guys so much for watching, and then I'll see you guys in the next episode. Enjoy your stay.